Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest wrestling podcast in history. It's time for Beef Sticks. Snap into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pasty White, how are you doing on this fine evening?
I am doing swell. How about yourself, Fat Mac?
I am amazing. I feel like something else, baby.
You sound like something else, my friend.
You gotta love it. You got to love it.
Well, if the news says it, you know. It's gotta be true.
Exactly. I never doubt Fox News.
You want to tell the people about that? You did bring it up at the head of the show last week, too, before I even knew what you were talking about.
I think the people who know.
But the people who call you something else didn't pay any attention to it, so...
That is true. Basically, when they were running the election polls, you know, they were talking about what percentage of people voted for who, and they had, you know, white, Asian, Black, Hispanic, something else. So, it's a good day to be something else. That's just weird.
It is.
That's
strange.
America for you.
It is. It is. No representation for those who were here first. It's sick. But that's the way it is, and it is 2020. Folks, COVID is spiking all over the country. Get yours today.
Yeah,
now at
Walmart. Be the
Walmart.
on your block.
And don't be the one guy who missed out either.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
I gotta get a vaccine. I'm kidding. I love it.
Good stuff.
You know what else I love and is good stuff, Fat Mac?
What's that, Pasty?
Fucking video games.
Video games are tight.
Hell yeah, they are. And what's more tight than that is an actually good wrestling game.
Oh, they're few and far between, Pasty.
Like 20 years, I'd say. No, I don't know. There was good wrestling games on the Nintendo 64. There was good wrestling games on the PlayStation 2. There was good wrestling games on PlayStation 3, I guess, when they were releasing those WWE games with the story modes that were about like the history of superstars. They did the one with Stone Cold, the one with Daniel Bryan. I'm pretty sure they did one that was like all WrestleManias. And then it fell off. But this week it has been announced that there may be hope on the horizon. Because Tuesday, Kenny Omega held a conference with Cody Rhodes and Britt Baker to unveil AEW Games, the newest venture for All Elite Wrestling. And they announced 3 games currently in production. And I'd say the first one is probably where the hype lives the most. One console game going to be on current and next-gen consoles, which got me excited that was coming out soon, but I have heard nothing in regards to when they plan on releasing this.
Right.
And then 2 phone games, which, I mean, that's where the world is, and that's how they're really going to make their money.
That's where the money's going to come from,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is good. You know, they've been talking about it basically since they've started the company, and you know, all the folks involved are major gamers. I don't know how much Cody is, I guess, but I know for sure Omega and the Bucks are.
He's definitely the mind behind the casino game. I'm just
right. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about what we got coming on. The first one, like you said, the major one is a AEW console game. They don't really have a title for it yet, as you stated, for current and next-gen consoles. But the thing that's really exciting is, well, it's produced by Ukes, which is okay. But it's directed.
They just abandoned WWE after 2K20, so that's...
Right. But it's directed by Hideyuki Geta it was Shoddy, who you may not know the name, but you'll know a couple of the games. It's the same man who directed WWF No Mercy and WCW NWO Revenge, which are two of the greatest wrestling games of all time. He also actually directed Def Jam Vendetta, which was not a bad game either.
Oh, hell yeah. If this has some elements of that in it, I will be excited. I mean, that Def Jam Vendetta, does that mean he made Backyard Wrestling? Because that was the same people, too.
Maybe. I don't know if he was involved in that or not, but
that could be some good shit.
It's really going to be interesting. One thing you can say is it's probably going to be very much different than the last few WWE games.
Yeah. Honestly, visually, it looks most like the newest WWE game. What is it? Brawl. Whatever. I don't know.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
It's all cartoony, and they're disproportionate. It's not necessarily cartoony, but they're disproportionate and out of sorts, and it makes for a different aesthetic, which I guess some people are behind, some people aren't. I know I like superstars that look like the superstars, and I think the AEW game is a good blend of the two.
Yeah.
And then I'm really excited for the AEW game, and I always thought that this was just going to be a feature within that. But it turns that they're making a AEW GM game for the phone consoles, Android and iPhone. And to me, that is fan-fucking-tastic, because I will probably sit and play that whenever I'm bored and not at home. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I could see myself getting down and wasting some time doing some GM stuff on there. That'll be fun, considering, depending on how they end up setting it up and everything. But that one sounds like it could really be fun.
Oh, it'd be so dope if you could compete your brand against your friends' brands, so we could take each other on.
That would be awesome. Plus, with it being a phone game, you're going to get constant updates, so you're going to get new characters all the time.
Mm-hmm. Let's just hope they keep the microtransactions out of this one, because the next one is like the perfect home for them to make money off of microtransactions.
Yeah, definitely. The next one is the AEW Double or Nothing Casino.
The only one with a functioning name.
Right? And that one is your typical casino phone game. You got the slot machines, video poker, blackjack. What can you say? It works.
It does work. And it's just, all you got to do is slap some branding on there, really. You don't even got to use superstars' likenesses. Although I would like to have, like they showed in the video footage, Kenny Omega at the card table dealing to you or whatever.
Right.
It'd be cool to have superstars doing that. But other than that, you just slap some fucking logos on slot machines and you're good to roll. I'm surprised that didn't come out now, and I'm actually kind of mad at Cody, because in the video he's like, why can't we give them something right now? And then they unveiled it, and they're like, it's coming this winter, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not right now.
No, but you mentioned the Kenny Omega dealing cards. I can't believe we got this far and we didn't really mention it. They had the whole crew dressed up in their best what the hell is the Apple guy? Steve Jobs, the black turtlenecks. That was kind of amusing. I chuckled.
I think that's a Kenny Omega thing for sure. Just like Fyter Fest. I think he comes with the great, like, real hokey gimmicks that just work.
I mean, he has that DDT background, the dramatic Dream Team background from Japan. He knows how to do some hokey shit.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like I said, they've been teasing this for how long. They always talk about it on Twitter and everywhere else, but now we finally at least get to see they are actually doing something. We got visual evidence.
It's really cool to see them getting hands-on with this, too. Unlike Vince, who just throws money at a game company and says, make me a game this year. You
To
know,
be fair, we don't want Vince's input on a video game, but
right.
I hear
But
you.
no direction hurts as well. I don't know. I like seeing that AEW is so focused on this that they made a games division. I'm
Right.
looking forward to seeing where this expands to in the future. I want to see like a AEW Mortal Kombat style game over the top. Like,
I'd check it out.
yeah, you could do a lot of things. I want a classic style JRPG AEW game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much they can do, and I know they want to step outside the box. And my favorite part about this is for years Xavier Woods has talked about wanting to get games off the ground, and I've listened to podcasts where he's talked about a phone game, a GM game for the phone, and so AEW ripped him off. Either that, or he's working for AEW Games, which isn't AEW. You know what I mean? And he'll get some cut from that. But I think
that's a stretch.
I think this is what's going to be the lure to finally bring him over to that side.
That would be good too.
Yeah, because odds are if he makes a game now, Vince is going to own it, and he won't have any rights to it.
Oh, for sure.
And putting out updates will just become part of his contractual agreements.
As we know. Yeah, that was definitely a bombshell this week in pro wrestling, for sure.
Yes.
And Pasty, that brings us to this week in pro wrestling history.
Yes.
We're going back 15 years, November 13th, 2005. TNA presented Genesis from the Impact Zone at Universal Orlando. The show was dedicated to Eddie Guerrero, who had passed away in the early morning hours of that exact day. The show also featured the TNA pay-per-view debut of Jay Riso, who used his old gimmick name Christian Cage. In a pre-show match, the Diamonds in the Rough, which were Simon Diamond, David Young, and Elix Skipper, defeated the Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens, along with Lance Hoyt. Then on the main card, we've seen Shark Boy defeat Nigel McGuinness. Raven defeated PJ Polacco, also known as Just Incredible. 3 live crew consisting of BG James, who was Road Dogg, Conan, and Ron the Truth Killings, or R-Truth, defeated Team Canada A1, Bobby Roode, and Eric Young in a hockey stick match.
Oh, hell yeah.
Monty Brown defeated Jeff Hardy to become #1 contender to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Alex Shelley, Christopher Daniels, Roderick Strong, and Samoa Joe defeated Austin Aries, Chris Sabin, Matt Bentley, and Sanjay Dutt in an elimination match. Abyss defeated Sabu in a hardcore match.
Woo.
AJ Styles defeated Petey Williams to retain the TNA X Division Championship. And the main event saw Rhino and Team 3D defeat Jeff Jarrett and America's Most Wanted, of course, Chris Harris and James Storm.
That is an awesome lineup. And it amazes me that some of these people were wrestling all the way back then. And it amazes me that some of those people are still wrestling to this, you know, it goes both ways. Like, this generation of wrestlers is very long-lived.
Oh, for sure, for sure. You got guys like Eric Young, R-Truth, James Storm, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Roderick Strong, Austin Aries.
A young guy like Eric Young who's just now hitting his prime.
Right? Then you have guys who were seasoned wrestlers back then, even as like Jeff Hardy, who's still wrestling now.
Oh, yeah. Team 3D, Rhino. Sabu.
Good old Sabu.
What a hell of a card. I want to go back and watch this, actually. Why didn't you tell me to watch this when Impact Plus was free, Fat Mac?
God damn it. I still think Impact Plus is quite a good deal if you're a fan of Impact. Yeah, it most definitely is. A lot of great rich history there.